Good morning, everybody. It's another wonderful day in the world of online business, and today we're going to be going over how to design your own website using a tool that I personally use called Squarespace. Now, why I turned to this in the first place was because I was getting really frustrated with trying to learn HTML and needing to know all this background and coding, which I just don't have the time to do, and I needed a platform to where I could invest my time in something that would still produce me with a professional result without costing me thousands and thousands of dollars that an agency might cost you. So before anything else, let's just go ahead and jump into it. Now, if you're getting a little scared because you're like, oh man, don't know how to design a website whatsoever, don't worry. It's really simple. It's really easy for you to just jump on board and learn how to use the platform. Really intuitive. And of course, I'll be going over a lot of the nitty-gritty that I actually had a lot of questions when I came into it because there was nobody helping me. I didn't really know where to turn. I had to look up tons and tons of articles to figure out, okay, well, where should I go? How should I start? But I want to address those questions I had in the videos that I create. So that's what we're going to do today. Now, over the next couple of videos, I'll actually be going over several tutorials within Squarespace. So if that's something that interests you and I can help you out that way, please just hit that subscribe button down there in the bottom right and ring that bell, and I'll be happy to bring you that content. And please just ask me questions along the way. The first thing we're going to want to do is go up to squarespace.com. You're going to come here. It's going to allow you to log in, create a site. Well, we're going to go ahead and hit start a free trial, and you don't have to put in any sort of credit card information. You actually have a 14-day free trial that you can do anything that you'd like. You can set up the website. You can really just play around with all the different templates. So on the side here, they actually have popular designs by category. So if you were an online store or some art design or maybe a creative service, it doesn't matter what it is. They have designs already laid out for you so that you have a starting block. So you don't have to say, well, okay, how in the world would I like it laid out? I really have no clue. So let's just start with this one. So what you have to do is just put in your first and last name and your email and then a password. And like I said, you don't have to put in any sort of credit card information to get started. So it really makes it easy for you to just dive in. So just type all that in, hit sign up, and then it will be good to go. So once you've gone through that setup process and put in your name and your email, it'll welcome you to your new Squarespace site, and we can just go ahead and hit start right here. You can put in your site title, so this is kind of just the description for your website. So you could just say my awesome website. And then next, it's going to ask you to add a description. This is for yourself as well as search engines. It will allow your website to be more discovered in some aspects. So putting a detailed description here is pretty important, but if you don't know what exactly you want to put yet, you can just leave it and hit done. You can edit it later, no worries. So when you come into Squarespace initially, there's going to be a couple of different options that you see. On the right hand, this is a preview of the pages that are on your website. And on the left hand here, there's several different categories for you to design your website, really make it your own and different. So the first one, let's just look at very briefly, is pages. Now within here, all of these are the demo pages for the specific template that you're going to be using. You don't have to use any of these. This is simply to show you, hey, there's a way that you can set this up. This is how we've chosen to do it, just to give you some kind of inspiration. And just to look at these sections, you just click on it and it takes you right down to it, so you can say, oh, okay, well, that's what it is. And then also when you're highlighting the area, you can see right up here, it'll say, all right, you're looking at Pacific Tavern. That's how you know what specific block that you're looking at. Squarespace is built on blocks, so it really makes it nice and easy to say, all right, I want to add this section. Now I'm done. I want to add this section without having to do any sort of coding or complex workarounds. There'll be none of that. It's really simple for you to just kind of dive in and start playing around. So there's a lot of different types of blocks that you can add. So within the main web page itself, you can click this main navigation button, and if you want to make a new page, there's a couple of different options. You have page, products, cover pages, folders, indexes, galleries, or maybe a blog, events, and these are the high-level pages. So when you're going in and maybe you say, okay, well, you know how up top you can hover over one of the navigational buttons and sometimes there's a drop down. Well, that's technically called a folder. So if you wanted to make one of those, you would hit folder and it creates this section right here, and you can just say, you know, my website, whatever it may be, and then add in pages right underneath of it. So they're kind of nested within the folder. Just like if you were navigating in the window of Microsoft platform or the Apple platform. So it's really intuitive and allows you to say, okay, that's how I do that. So we'll go over this stuff in more detail in a later video, but the second thing I would like to go over is the design tab, and this is really where you can make things personalized to yourself. Now here, again, it's pretty self-explanatory what it's showing you. So there's the logo and title section where you can actually type in your title, which is right here, so my awesome website. Maybe you have a tagline or some phrase that you'd like your brand to be known for. The logo image, so what you have decided for your brand to be your logo, you put right there. And then what's actually really, really cool that I didn't know what it was called, I thought it was just put in automatic within a website, it's called a favicon. And if you see this block right up here and actually right here, these are actually called favicons, and you can change what it looks like. So you can actually upload that, and you can just Google, you know, what size do I need it to be in order to upload to there. And they'll tell you, there'll be plenty of Squarespace articles letting you know what you need to do. Then also you can change the template. So let's say maybe, okay, I don't actually want to work with the Hayden template anymore. I want to work with something else. So you can go into here and pick a new template, whatever you'd like, and it actually doesn't do anything to erase your other work. It'll just add it here, and you can switch between the two. So I can say, all right, well, I want to preview the Bedford template, maybe do some work in here. And if you want to make this your live template, all you have to do is click this button and it switches it over and doesn't do anything to erase the work you've previously done. So maybe you just want to try out some things and really, you know, just kind of test the waters and figure out what you really like. So whatever that is, it allows you to do that with ease. Now the style editor, there's a lot of different options in here for you to change out your site and what you would like to do with it. One of the ways to navigate is just by scrolling down here on the left-hand side where you can see, all right, well, you know, I can change the font, I can change the color, I can, you know, make transparent on banner images, I can change the navigational font, you know, whatever it is. Or one of the more helpful ways I've found to edit certain areas, because you may not know what all of these things stand for, you can actually come inside of the style editor and let's say I want to edit what this button looks like. It will bring up all of the relevant criteria to manage that button. So let's say I want to change this to be, I don't know, pink. So we just bring it over here and say, all right, great, you know, there we go. I want to change the text color to red. You know, actually that kind of reminds me of one of those Valentine's Day heart colors. And if I want to change the font, I can change that within here. They give me all these different types of fonts to use, the weight to the text itself, so maybe I want to make it look a little bit heavier. I want it to be italicized. You know, they have all of these things for you, and then when you're done, you want to go back, all right, just show me everything else. Now I want to work with the navigational menu, and it'll bring everything up here, and you can just kind of play around with it and see what edits what to make it best personalized to you. And once you're done, you just hit save, you can come back out, and then you'll be good to go. So there's a couple of other things right here. Check out Page Style Editor. That's really for you if you have some sort of e-commerce site, so you probably won't have to do any sort of work with that. The lock screen, come in here. So if you ever had an area where people needed to log into your site to see something behind the scenes, you can customize how that looks. Just make it a little bit more personalized to you and your brand. Then the announcement bar and mobile information bar. Starting out, these are actually two things I really didn't know what it was talking about, so I didn't edit it at all. But you can come in here and say, all right, well, I actually want the announcement bar, and it actually puts in this black header right above your website. So if you had maybe a new news article that you wanted featured, well, first thing they see when they come into your site is this article right here, and you can say, hey, you know, I have a new news article, and you can actually make it so that they can click through to that specific article, which is really, really nice. So all you have to do is highlight that and link, and either you can bring somebody to an outside URL, or you can make it a file. Maybe you did a PDF and you uploaded that to your site, or a content within your site. So, you know, when you actually create pages here, let's say you created a news section and added a blog post, you can add it directly to that. So when people click, it takes them right over to there. So then you can go back out, and there's a couple of other things. There's a Squarespace badge, so that's actually right down here at the bottom, powered by Squarespace. Of course, when you have your own site, you probably want to take that off. You really don't want that there for your website. You want it to look professional. And, I mean, if you want to attribute Squarespace, that's fine. But personally, I take it out. And then if you really, really want to get into some nitty-gritty, you can do some custom CSS, which I actually will be going over in future videos. But right now, just getting started, it's not really relevant. Just start to play around, really feel out your site and what you want to do with it. So I hope this has really been helpful, guys, getting your Squarespace site started. And I look forward to bringing you more content in relation to Squarespace and really showing you how to get in and change things up to make it really your own and special and something that you'll feel proud of. So if you start your site and want some help, please leave a comment down below. I'd be happy to get back to you and sort out some things. Whatever questions that you guys have, let's figure it out together. So please tune in for the next video, and I look forward to talking to you next time.